Hey everybody, Jacob here at this latest episode of the 0 Hour Podcast brought to you by Ground Zero. You all know how much I love doing this thing, but here we are at another trade show. And we're going to talk about some things that we've covered a little bit. One of them happens to be sitting behind me. I'm going to be joined by a couple of my friends to talk about what we're doing, why this is fun, why we think it's cool to do these shows, and what's coming up in the future. So I'll see you back in just a couple minutes. All right, guys, we're just having a blast over here, and it's fun because here we are at Mastertech, which is, yes, it's a trade show, but what sets this one apart is it's a lot more, I think, fab-centric. I mean, if you look around at what they're doing and the competitions and the build-offs and, you know, all of the things that goes on, it's really fabricator-centric. So, you know, why is a vendor here, right? You know, if we're selling car audio or we're talking about car audio, why is it important to be here? And it's a lot of it comes back to the fact that what we talk about a lot is the importance of installation. We talk about why if you can nail installation first, everything else is easy. So when we are here and we have something like Violet sitting behind us, which is Chris Pate's personal truck, complete custom interior in the inside of a 97 OBS Chevy Tahoe, it was focused and centered around installation. So we're talking about, you know, building a panel that doesn't resonate instead of trying to fix a stock dash, or speaker placement from the ground up. So when we're sitting at a show like this that is so fabrication centric, it's really important to bring out something that really completely explains you know, why that is important and why the prep work is important and everything along those lines. So I'm here with Nick. I'm going to turn it over to Nick and Rob here in a couple of minutes, and they're going to talk about Violet, because I think at some point we've mentioned the fact that Violet made Rob tear up in one of our previous podcasts. Nick's had a lot more seat time with this thing now, so we can really kind of cover what is important about this. And my personal experience, I put my brother-in-law in this truck yesterday, or Nick did.
Yeah.
And he just gets out, white as a ghost, just, I can't believe things are this good in the car audio industry. And mind you, this is one of the two guys that got me involved in car audio 25 something years ago. So it was really cool to get him and allow him to experience that. But when we come back, we're going to cover, well, they're going to cover Violet and talk about, you know, what is really cool about this thing and why it's doing what it's doing with the Ground Zero gear. So we'll be right back.
So here we are at Mastertech, and as many of you who are watching this understand that we're in something really, really special. This is Mr. Chris Pate's, how do I want to describe this thing?
How do you want to describe it?
Yeah, how you want to describe
This
this?
is one bad mofo.
Yeah, that's...
This is my 1997 two-door Tahoe. So at the end of the day, how do you want to describe it? Man, this is a rad vehicle, throwback to, you know, late 90s, mid 2000s, when our boys, you know, Gary Biggs and Mark Eldridge and all those crazies were all building really cool, awesome demo vehicles / you know, expert cars. So this is my throwback to our past.
So this is the appreciation, you know, for what they all allowed us to have.
Yeah.
So, and I remember those days because I was a big part of it, being able to judge and compete against those guys, and it was a lot of fun. And this system, which, you know, this Ground Zero system in this vehicle, it is reminiscent of those vehicles. You know, today we listen to cars and they're sterile and they're nasty and they don't sound very good, and I think you and I will agree with that.
Well, I mean, I think that sometimes, especially like if you walk around at this event, you'll think that some people are like, well, just because it plays really loud,
Yeah.
and oh man, it's got really loud, it's got a lot of impact, and it's like, oh man, this is super loud, and man, it blows your head off, man. It's an awesome sounding car. I mean, they're not. I mean, it sounds fine. I mean, and that's great, and it's cool that it can do that. But at the end of the day, you know, the goal of a great sounding vehicle is to sound like, you know, a pair of my my mains at my house in my 2-channel listening room. That's the goal.
Yeah.
So, and you know, this is pulling it back to, you know, those late 90s, mid 2000s when high-end audio in cars to me was at its peak. Everybody was pushing.
I agree.
You know, and you know, that's what this is about.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think that was what the goal was when you started this, wasn't it?
yeah, you know, so when we initially had planned on doing this vehicle, and you know, I got with you know, everybody over at HKI and Ground Zero here, you know, about doing it. You know, we knew what we were going to build. We knew what kind of truck on the outside we were going to build. And so for me, I build a lot of vehicles for other people, but this one's obviously for myself. And so I wanted it to be something that really was something that harkened back to when this vehicle was originally built and what was cool in those mini truck eras and that whole thing and all the graphics and stuff. And so when I was doing it, I was like, I don't really have the ability, if I'm going to build a vehicle for myself at this level, that it's not going to sound world class. I know we set out originally with a different group of gear, and you know, Jacob and them were great, awesome enough to send me all that, and then I got it, and I looked at everything, and it was all going to be awesome, and I was like, you know, at some point this thing will end up in the lanes because it just happens, and if it's going to end up in the lanes, well, it's got to have the best of the best that you know, Ground Zero has to offer, at least in the stuff that I've tested. And you know, I was like, let's go ahead and do it, you know, and we got the stuff in, and you know, really wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, you know, because with the
brand new builds,
you don't know, and I know when we got Jeffrey out of it, and you out of it, right before we loaded it on the trailer to go SEMA, y'all were like, man, this thing is pretty unbelievable. And I was like, really? And you get in there and listen, I said, yeah, it is really nice. But, you know, stuff hasn't broke in. It's still a lot of stuff that has to happen. And, you know, I think now, here we are months later, and, you know, finally really getting it dialed in.
Yeah,
this may be one of the best vehicles of all time, sound quality-wise.
It just might be. You know, and for those of you who don't understand what Chris has done as far as what he's using equipment-wise, what we're looking at is a full ultra three-way system up front, tweeter, mid-range bass, and you're going to see in a minute, because they're going to start showing video inside the car, you're going to see that this is not what you would expect to be. You know, you're used to seeing all the custom pillars built and have all this custom done. Well, he kept the theme. You know, this is old school 90s build with mid-range in the top of the door, mid-bass in the bottom of the door, tweeter in the top of the dash. The only thing that you're going to look at and go, oh, well, that's not fair, is the center channel that's sitting here with a tweeter and a mid-bass driver. Yeah, well, like I said, Chris said, it's going to eventually end up in the lanes, and well,
you can't forget the 8-inch uranium sub hidden in the dash, firing forward in a sealed cabinet.
Yeah,
you know, you can't. I mean, I know you can't see it. She's hiding out in there, but it's in there. It's
Trust
in there.
us, it's there. And then as you go to the back of the car where the 4 reference amplifiers are, and you've got 4 plutonium 10s, and it has 2,000 watts driving them, and yeah, it's just a heck of a lot of fun to listen to this car. So as you can see, what you're looking at right here, this is the actual back of the vehicle. There's 4 plutonium 10s here, and then there's 4 reference amps. And how this is all done, I'm going to turn over to Chris, because quite frankly, he did it. So he kind of knows exactly what amplifier is powering what and how much power is going to each driver. So take it away, sir.
So yeah, so at the end of the day, you know, this is a system that we designed at our shop over in College Station, Texas. Me and my boy Justin Armour built it in record time. So there are 4 the reference 4 channels in here. The cool thing is that there is a ton of power. So you have a 4-channel running, the 3 and tweet left and right. Those are located, the mid is located in the door, high, and the tweeter's located high in the dash, angled in. You've got another 4-channel running the mid-bass drivers and running the center channel, all completely active. You have another amplifier that is running the rears and the front subwoofer. The last one is running the 410s in the back. So tons of power, completely active, tons of control, the ability to do whatever you want on that side of it. So it allows for a lot of output, a lot of very clean, very controlled, very precise. So it's exciting.
You made the mention of this word control.
Yeah, it's
how many, you and I've been doing this for years.
Decades.
Yeah, thank you. You saying I'm old?
You are old. You're older than me by a
One of my
lot.
closest friends. I'm an old fart. Okay,
You
whatever.
are.
But we've had experience with numerous different type of amplifiers for all these many years. I can tell you, honest to gosh, no kidding. When you talk about control over speakers, these amplifiers, they are exceptional in that respect. And we're not talking about just output power and being able to play loud. Being able to bring out the detail in the music, and any music, and he turned me on to a song that has 32 guitars in the track.
Yep.
I had no idea this song existed. And I'm listening to it in here, and you literally can hear every single solitary guitar individually play on this song. That is exceptional. You don't hear that in car audio. You hear it in home audio, very high-end home audio, but you don't hear it in car audio. You do in this thing.
Yeah,
It's exceptional.
I mean, and that's what great audio systems do, whether it's in the home or whether it's in the car. I mean, it's got to be able to recreate the detail of the recording, and everyone jokes I use a lot of rock tracks. My guys do at the shop, and over the years, the guys there have figured it out. It's like if you can make a really great modern rock track sound correct, then there's a 99% chance it's going to work on any other type of music, because modern rock is generally really a lot of layering, a lot of guitar tracks, a lot of different instruments layered on top of each other and usually sequentially spaced out to create a wall of sound. So if you can get that stuff to recreate correctly, then there's no doubt that it's going to sound great on classical music, country, any of the cool geeky SQ stuff, Diana Krall,
it doesn't matter.
Spanish Harlem. It's Nick's favorite song in the world.
Spanish.
That's your favorite song, Nick. Don't even act like it's not.
Oh, okay. Anyway, suffice it to say that I am the small part of this that I've been involved with. I will tell you right now, I am so proud of this man for what he's accomplished, and what he's built here is simply amazing. So if you ever have the opportunity to listen to this, please do. He'll be more than happy to demonstrate it for you, and I think you'll understand that this is a next level in quality of build and in equipment and performance.
Hey everybody, it's Rob and Andy here, Ground Zero USA. Andy brought another toy. This one's a little crazy.
We did bring a toy.
This is over the top, as always. I wouldn't expect anything less.
It's a little bright though.
It is probably the coolest paint I've seen on a bike. Fits my era. I love this thing. Kind of matches the Tahoe that we've got in the show. So
that was totally an accident, I promise.
Yeah, it's kind of a Van Halen style, I think. I don't know. Makes me excited every time I see it. So
90s,
what was the
90s mini truck? I mean, that's kind of the theme.
Oh my God!
Right?
So what was the inspiration? I mean, what was the goal here?
Sound. That's all it was. We wanted good sound. So
Okay.
I went a little crazy on it. The whole reason I decided that this is the bike we should bring to Mastertech, being a fabrication show, is everyone's used to seeing giant tour packs and amplifiers everywhere, and decided we should try and hide everything. So built this one. It's got a ton of power in it, actually. Multiple speakers that we lift the grills off so you can actually see what we got going on, but everything's hidden, and that was the key. So I've got red basket 6.5 coax up front. We've got tweeters buried everywhere on this thing just for directional sound. We've got what everybody calls the yellow basket in the lowers. I've got another set of coax in the back. I've got the black baskets, which I absolutely love. Vocals out of those things are incredible. And then, of course, a couple of full-size hydrogen 10s in the bags. So,
Well, it gets the job done. That's all I have to say. One of the things I noticed, the tweeters that are buried in hidden little places under paint, like on the tail.
oh yeah, or
In
in
the
the
nose.
outer fairing, and just
You
keep
don't
them
even
hidden.
notice them, and then all of a sudden you realize there they are. that's not just a flaw in the paint. That is literally on purpose.
It was 100% on purpose. Like I said, when we get into competition stuff, they seem to want staging all the way around, and for some reason, we can get some type of staging out of a tweeter. It's basically just so that we have some type of sound directional all the way around it. But I've seen so many people just stick a tweeter somewhere, and it, to me, looks gaudy. So I wanted them hidden. I wanted them painted. I wanted them to blend in. The amount of people that have done numerous trips around this bike at this show going, oh, I didn't see that one. Oh, I didn't see that one. Oh, whoa, you got them there? It's been kind of fun.
Absolutely. So one of the things I noticed when I first walked up to this is the lack of tour pack. And it just gives it such clean lines, and it really highlights the drivers in the back.
Absolutely. Like I said, the key for me was I wanted to do something big sound, all hidden, no tour pack. Without the tour pack on it, we're not blocking any of the sound firing out the back of this thing, which makes a huge difference there too.
Yeah, beautiful. Lastly, how many channels do you think we're running in this?
Ooh, okay, so there is a 10-channel DSP. I'm using all 10 channels for processing, but there is, let's see, 4, 8, there is 21 channels technically on this thing.
Of amplification.
Of amplification.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. And total watts probably?
We are 16,200 in this thing.
Well, there you go.
On 6 8s, 2 6s, a pair of 10s, and I think we came up with 14 tweeters.
So, and one more thing, being that it's all ground zero, the amount of equalization, the amount of work involved, how would you say this one went?
There is not much EQing really overall on this thing.
Yeah.
Placement, speaker selection, it took no time to get this thing to sound amazing.
Sound is amazing. So, and it's a showstopper, sonically, visually. Great job.
It grabs some attention.
Yeah.
So, Nick, thanks for spearheading those two vehicle walkthroughs, because obviously, you know, they're two extremely different.
Oh, you think?
I mean, other than the fact that they're,
It's a motorcycle and a custom-built Tahoe. But
you know, they're rather similar.
in paint, yeah, that's about it.
That's about it.
That's okay.
But here you are again, talking about motorcycles, talking about high-end SQ cars, talking about everything that it is that we do with Ground Zero from, again, like a passion perspective. So, you know, thank you for again
absolutely.
spearheading that,
Not a
because
problem.
you do the vehicle walkthroughs way better than I do. So there we have it, you know, kind of a quick recap of what we brought to Mastertech, why we brought it, and from here, what are we doing? We're Austria? Austria's next for us. For the EMA
right.
Euro.
We're going to EMA finals.
Yeah,
that's
EMA
right.
Euro finals. So we'll really get to see one of the things that we talk about, and that's like the worldwide presence of Ground Zero, and how you know, we are just a small cog in this massive machine of car audio and passion.
Absolutely.
Right. So
Especially when you take into account how things are in Asia. Oh my gosh.
yeah, it's very
insane.
different to see the industry from the outside, because you know, in the U.S. we like to live in our own little bubble. So we're going to go experience it. We're going to go have some fun. We'll bring you some notes. We'll bring you some recaps, and so we'll see you on the next one. Don't forget, subscribe on the things at Ground Zero USA, and we will see you on the next episode. Have a good one.